John Krasinski would be a better Batman than Robert Pattinson right now, bro. I would swap them out right now, and I'll give you $10. What's good? It's your boy Jody. It's Wednesday, so it's time for DC Rises, baby. DC Rises number 11 for sure. Hey man, let's talk about some DC news. Let's get into the first piece of it. James Gunn was talking to some people on social media again. Fans asked him questions, and the first piece of questions that they asked him was, "Yo, James, for Peacemaker, could you cast Chris Pratt to play himself, Chris Pratt, in Peacemaker or something like that, bro?" To where James came out and said, there are reasons why I wouldn't want either of those actors to play themselves. Hell no. That's what James said. Heck no. There's a reason why I don't want either of those actors to be. So I'm thinking like, okay, wait. So basically you have a role for Chris Pratt. That's what that means. James Gunn is going to cast Chris Pratt in a DCU movie. Then you ask yourself the question, what DCU movie would he cast Chris Pratt to play as? Then when I think about that, ding, 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 it instantly comes to me. First off, would I be cool with Chris Pratt joining the DCU? Yes, absolutely. I like Chris Pratt. What character comes to mind when you think about Chris Pratt playing a DC character? Bro, I'll give you a hint. He's the perfect actor to play this character, bro. This is the character that I think that James is going to cast him as, bro. Because it's just, some things are just meant to be. They just sync and align together. It just has to be done. He was mentioned in Blue Beetle. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Pratt should be cast to play Booster Gold in the DCU. Yes, sir, 100%. If he plays Booster Gold in the DCU, that would be a perfect casting, bro. I would sign up to see that. He has that type of goofy, jovial character, on point, sarcastic, witty, smart, get bitches and get riches. You know what I'm saying? I could 100% see Chris Pratt playing that, going all over the multiverse and all through time and stuff, and that's right up James Gunn alley, bro. These obscure type of funny characters. Booster Gold is a freaking movie that should be directed by this fool James Gunn, and also, or at least written by James Gunn, and starring Chris Pratt, bro. Chris Pratt as Booster Gold. That's that. Another question was asked to him. He said, here's a question that you're more likely to have given any thought. Have you given any thought to the lay of the land in the DCU, where different cities of the heroes operate or on a map? Will they all be right next to each other, or will they spread across the country like the source material? DC has some great cities with their own identities. I hope we see that. James responds, we are creating an incredibly detailed world map. So that just shows you more attention to detail, more good news for DCU, the future of DC, not the present and not the past. That shit is over with, bro. The future DCU looks promising, bro, because it's the little things, bro, is what make up the whole freaking world, right? And the difference between Marvel and DC is that Marvel uses real places for their heroes to live in, like Spider-Man being from Queens, Captain America being from Brooklyn, the Stark Tower being in New York. Having New York events, California, Tony Stark living in Malibu, in Palisades, Malibu, California. The Fantastic Four Tower in New York. And that's cool and all because it feels real, but DC does it all different, bro. In DC Comics, they use fantasy places that represent real places in the United States. For example, you have Coast City, you got Central City, Gotham City, you got Metropolis, you got where Arrow's from. Where Arrow from? Is that Starlight City? Is it Starlight City? Star City? I don't know. Y'all put in the comment section, let me know where Arrow's from in the Arrowverse and shit. All right, stuff like that. So it has its own names and its own character, its own individual. You know what I'm saying? Coast City could be a dope place. I could see Central City as being a character in itself, bro, and the way that the people interact with their hero there. I think that that's great, bro, and I think that James should really He has to, because it's the source material. You're not gonna say L.A., New York, Chicago. You're not gonna do that because DC is very much about the sci-fi of it all, the fantasy of it all, bro. And Marvel's much more like grounded with their heroes, and DC puts their heroes on pedestals like gods and deities and freaking iconic characters, bro. And that aspiration is what makes you look up to them. You kind of look Marvel heroes like straight on, but you look up to DC characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's freaking awesome that way, bro. So yeah, that's good, man. More good news from James Gunn. On to some other news. We got to talk about the Blue Beetle in the room. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys often, bro, I wasn't hyped for Blue Beetle. My expectations was down here because it looked mid. The trailers looked mid. It looked generic. It looked freaking whatever. So my expectations going into Blue Beetle were very low. And to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised overall with Blue Beetle, because I think that Blue Beetle represents the MCU of the past. And that's a compliment. Blue Beetle is like a phase 1 MCU movie, bro. Like, think of Ant-Man, right? Ant-Man from phase 1, that's Blue Beetle, bro. You might like it more, you might not like it more, whatever, but it's still there's a really good example of what Blue Beetle is. It's Ant-Man, bro. You love Ant-Man, you hate Man, you think Ant-Man's good, you think he's mid, whatever it is, that's what it is, bro. So it's competent, but it's mid. It also has problematic issues. It's lazily written, bro. It's just it's not put together well, bro. But it has good elements of it that I liked. So they had a lot of the good. They checked a lot of boxes, but overall they couldn't land the landing, bro. I gave it a C+, mediocre plus. I would say it's more good than it is bad. That's what a C+ is, and I think that it's worth watching in theaters. That's my personal take on it. But Blue Beetle is a flop, bro, and the earnings are out $25.4 million opening weekend. That includes Thursday previews, which is only like $3 million, and $43 million worldwide. $43 million worldwide with $110 million production budget. You add marketing to that bad boy, you looking at $150 million. This movie is not going to make $150 million. It's a flop. Let's just keep it a buck. I call spades a spade here, bro. I don't like to be giving bad DC news, but I keep that shit a buck, bro. Blue Beetle is a flop. It's going to flop. It ain't going to do well. It's done. Even though me personally, I would like to see Jaime return in the DCU, my nigga, your movie didn't do well. It's flopping. You're done. We are not taking box office failures into the future. I'm looking at you, Flash. Nobody likes Ezra Miller. The box office proved that. You're done. I don't ever want to see Ezra Miller again. I do want to see Jaime again, but it's sad we can't take losers into the DCU, bro. We just can't, bro. I just got to add this real quick. This is not about DC, but I need to talk about it. Did you guys know that Barbie made $1.2 billion? Did you guys know that it's about to make $1.3 billion in 5 weeks, 6 weeks? By next week, Barbie will be passing, or in the next couple weeks, Barbie will be passing Black Panther, which made $1.3 billion in 2018. That's crazy, bro. And did you guys know that Oppenheimer made $700 million? It crossed $700 million, making it Christopher Nolan's, it put in his top 5. I believe Oppenheimer is at number 4 now, or number 5. It's at number 5 or number 4 now for one of his highest grossing movies. That's crazy. That Barbenheimer is real. That's for sure. But did you guys know that even though Oppenheimer made over $700 million worldwide, it was never the number 1 movie? And that's a record. Oppenheimer cast a new record, beating out Sing 2. Sing was going against Rogue One back then, and it never hit number 1. Oppenheimer, for a movie to make $700 million, is the highest grossing movie that never hit number 1. So it never hit at number 1 because Barbie was always in the way, taking the number 1 spot, but still managed to eat off of Barbie and off of its own merit. That's some crazy stuff right there, bro. I just wanted to put that little food for thought in your ear. What you think about that? That's kind of crazy, bro. That shit wild, bro. All right, let's go on to some other news. Oh, real quick. There's a rumor out there that John Krasinski is playing Batman in the DCU. Bro, James Gunn refuted this himself. And also, let's use common sense. There's a writer strike going on. Ain't no discussions. Ain't no castings. Ain't no calls. No phone calls being made. The only way these motherfuckers is really getting down is making secret phone calls. Of course, that's happening. But the only way motherfuckers getting down when they on the picket fence and they talking to each other like, yo, what's up? What's going on with that new movie, bro? What you got going on next year after this shit is over? You want to play a role? Huh? Oh, okay. Like that, bro. They holding picket signs talking to each other and shit. Outside of that, bro, ain't no freaking discussions being had, bro. So all castings, all news like on that is going to be dull for a minute, bro, because of this writer strike. So that's why DC Rises has kind of been like chilling, because DC Rises, the videos that I've been I have to chill on that because there's no news. There's no news. There's no Marvel news, no DC news, no Star Wars news like that. All news about movies and stuff is going to be at a standstill, bro, because news is about what's happening now. And there ain't shit happening now because of the writer strike. So I just wanted to say that John Krasinski is not playing Batman, even though he's a shoo-in for Mr. Fantastic. I don't know how they messed that up, because he played Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And he was perfect for that role because he matches that role really well. And they wanted his real life wife, Emily Blunt, to play Sue Storm. She's beautiful. I could see her doing that. And freaking Mr. Reed Richards and his wife those are real husband and wife in the fantasy. You could have made that shit reality. Why didn't that work? That's just beyond me. Fantastic Four has a lot of issues with their marketing and stuff and their casting. That movie is a mess, bro. So even though he's perfect as Reed Richards, that shit don't apply to Batman, my nigga. That don't apply to Bruce Wayne, bro. You look derpy and you look nerdy and shit. That's cool for that, but not for Batman, bro. You don't look like Batman. You don't ooze Batman. There's no Batman coming from you, bro. But then again, Robert Pattinson is Batman. Nigga, I'm talking all this shit when Robert Pattinson is Batman right now, nigga. Do you know I have never rewatched Batman. The Batman, I've never rewatched it, bro. I just can't. It's just so boring. And that is not Batman. I don't give a freak what nobody say. This DC Rises, but we keep it a buck here. I keeps it a buck. Robert Pattinson is miscast as Batman, nigga. That's why I can't wait to get a new Batman, the real Batman for the DCU, because Matt Reeves' Batman, Robert Pattinson, that nigga whack. He's Nightwing, bro. He looks like Nightwing. He acts like Nightwing. No, he don't. He don't even act like Nightwing. Nightwing, I'm disrespecting Nightwing saying that shit, bro. He got the Nightwing look to him, that kind of emo, young, you ain't Batman, dog. I put on Max, and I was skipping through the Batman, and I got to the scene where he was pushing that table, and you see him from the back. This nigga look hungry. Give him a sandwich. This is the skinniest, most out of shape Batman I've ever seen, bro. Like, this fool looks malnourished. And you're trying to tell me and make me believe that he's punching up these characters, beating people up in the streets? Get the freak out of here. Robert Pattinson is bro. And he doesn't even play the role good, bro. Ugh. Anyway, my bad, John Krasinski. I just thought about that, bro. I'm going to be 100 with you. I'm going to be 1,000 with y'all. John Krasinski would be a better Batman than the Batman we have right now. on hood, nigga, on everything, on the set, on the homies. Hey, keep it a buck. John Krasinski would be a better Batman than Robert Pattinson right now, bro. I would swap them out right now, and I'll give you $10. Hey, I'll give you $10. I'll trade you John Krasinski for your Robert Pattinson and $10, bro. Cash considerations, bro. What's up? Hey, bro, I got a Tamagotchi from 98, bro. You want that shit, too? I got an old Nintendo DS up in this motherfucker, the translucent indigo one. You want that? I'll give you that, too, my nigga. Shit. All right, man, I could go on all day about Robert Pattinson and how trash he is. Oh, so the future of the DCU, it does start theatrically with Superman in 2025, in July of 2025. But the DCU really starts in 2024 with Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is a off-base, wild, wacky take on different characters. I'm not hyped for it at all. It's going to be an animated series, bro. It's not really my cup of tea because I don't know about Creature Commandos. I don't know who they are, but you know James Gunn, he is a fan of the wacky, and the Creature Commandos is basically going to be that. So I will watch episode 1 of Creature Commandos. I'll check it out. I might even react to it, and if it's not my cup of tea, I'm gonna walk away. That's just what it is, bro. DCU officially starts for me in 2025 because that's when the movies start and that's when she's gonna get real. But don't get it twisted. Creature Commandos, everybody who voices each character of Creature Commandos is actually gonna be their character when they show up in live action. And why do I say show up in live action? Because David Harbour, he's playing a character, Frankenstein, and he's voicing that character. And David Harbour himself said that they're done voicing all the characters. James Gunn came out and said, Creature Commandos, the voice work, usually they come and do the voice work and get that done. All 7 episodes of Creature Commandos has been voiced. So now they're just going to do the animation, all the other stuff that they're going to do. And then Creature Commandos will be hitting Max next year in 2024. I don't think we have a specific date. They just mentioned 2024. So that'll be your first glimpse at what the DCU is about, but don't give it too much weight. Really wait for the theatrical release with Superman Legacy, okay? Also, Amanda Waller is a movie that's coming out on HBO Max. I'm sorry, not HBO Max. Max. What a stupid name for a streaming service. Do you not know Cinemax exists? Why would you name your shit Max when there's a Cinemax? What the freak? Anyway, Waller is Amanda Waller. You might know her from 2016 Suicide Squad, or you might know her from 2020's Suicide Squad with James Gunn, and she was also in a couple other movies here and there. But Amanda Waller is also in Peacemaker. Amanda Waller takes place between Peacemaker Season 1 and Peacemaker Season 2. So Waller is a sequel of the Peacemaker franchise from HBO Max. But now it's going to be on Max probably next year. There's no release date for it, but it's supposed to come out next year. And it's a series following Amanda Waller and her exploits. So what's that going to be about? I don't know. I guarantee you I'll watch the first episode, and if it's mid, I'll walk away. The same way I do not have patience with mediocrity, bro. I want you guys to know, bro, I ain't with the fanboy shit, bro. If DCU product ain't hitting, I'm walking away. I'm going to freaking talk shit about it just like I do the MCU, my nigga. How that Secret Invasion was garbage. If freaking Peacemaker, if freaking Waller's garbage, is going to get that freaking fire and I'm going to walk away. I'm out of here, nigga. I ain't sticking around for this shit. I ain't got time for this shit no more, bro. I got other things to do, bro. Like doing notjustanime.com. I'm taking my talents to anime. Haven't you heard? NotJustAnime.com is here. Yeah. Go to NotJustAnime.com, click any video that you want, and boom, you're going to see a page to authenticate through Patreon. Click the Patreon authentication, and that's it. You're in. Hundreds of videos of anime content to come. Some of these videos are like an hour long, some of them 2 hours long. Only way to find out is go to NotJustAnime.com. You get access to our special Discord server, and I would like to officially announce that we're going to be reacting to One Piece. NotJustAnime.com. Woo, your boy Jody Joe's taking his talents to NotJustAnime.com. The website is lit. Go there, click that Patreon button. You get access to Discord and all of our anime reactions. Naruto Shippuden is right now. It's hitting. We're doing One Punch Man, bro. That shit hitting, bro. Anime is just freaking amazing. All right, back to DC Rises, bro. So yeah, that's where we're gonna be at with the DCU. Creature Commandos and Waller next year, 2024. Stick around for 2025 for what's in the future. All right, last piece of DC thing we have to talk about. There's an elephant in the room, and it got scales and fins, my nigga. It's Aquaman, bro. Aquaman 2 is supposed to come out this December, I believe, and I don't know about that movie, you guys. I don't know. Looking at how people have been receiving the DCEU, Flash and Blue Beetle back to back, and Shazam 2, Black Adam, like those, that's not a good look for the DCEU. And I feel like people are starting to realize that the DCEU is dead. The Snyderverse is dead. And there is no more public that wants to see any of those movies, bro. And even though Aquaman 2 is going to be the sequel to a $1 billion, the first DCEU $1 billion movie, man, like, I don't feel like as many people are going to show up for Aquaman 2. I don't know. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion, bro. Not only do I not think it's going to make $1 billion, I think it's going to suffer heavily in the box office. I'm ready to make a bold prediction right now. $700 million. $700 million worldwide. Which is still good, but it's a huge underperformance from what is expected. It's a huge underperformance for a sequel of $1 billion movie. And I'm not just talking about $1 billion. It's $1.1 billion Aquaman made. Don't sleep on that extra $100 million now. Freaking Blue Beetle wish it had that $100 million. You know, it would have fixed it. I don't know, bro. There's rumors about it's not being good, and I'm hearing from inside. I got a couple people on the inside who say that a lot of it is fluff, but there's truth to some of it. So there is some issues with Aquaman 2, but they cut that trailer. I seen the trailer. The trailer was good. I like the trailer, but I think that China's gonna show up for James Wan as a Chinese man. That's why I believe it made $1 billion in the first place. But I do think Aquaman was a great movie. Aquaman, I give it an A-. Fantastic DCU movie. And I think that Jason Momoa's time as Aquaman is done. I think he's going to be Lobo in the future. I think they're deviating away from Aquaman because if you look at Jason Momoa's Aquaman, he's a Yahoo Snyder dude, bro. And that just is not a good look for the future of the DCU. So I think that James and Jason had a talk, and they've agreed to get Jason out of the Aquaman role because it reminds us of Snyder. And I think that that's a good idea, bro. To see Jason Momoa play Lobo, that's tight, bro. A rock star biker from outer space, bro. For sure. Sign him up. But as far as Aquaman 2, I don't know. I say $700 million worldwide. That's not a flop, obviously, but it's an underperformance, just like the Batman was an underperformance. Everybody believed, even Warner Brothers believed they had $1 billion movie on their hands, and it only brought in $750 million. I think that Aquaman 2 is in trouble. It has too many things working against it. I feel like the combined with the fact that people are down on DCEU movies, it's going to be the 5th movie in a streak of flops. And it's got Jason Momoa starring Amber Turd, who is a hated character by almost all people. People are gonna boycott that movie, and they're not gonna go see it, bro. So with that being said, bro, I think that Aquaman 2 is gonna make its money, but it's gonna be a huge underperforming $700 million end of the day film, and people are just want to close the chapter on the DCEU, bro. They just want to say goodbye. And Flash opened up the multiverse, so now we can see the DCEU the way it is and just move forward, bro. 2025 can't come soon enough. That's DC Rises 11, bro. It's in the bag, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Check out notjustanime.com if you want to help your boy Jody Joe. Look down below for my freaking merch. I love you guys so very much. I'm Jody Joe. It's the place where you wanna speak. In the beginning, it's like I had to take a leap of faith. It was me in front of the camera. And I did have to take a leap of faith.